Deepak. How are you? It's almost 12 noon in New York, and I'm continuing with our conversations on the forum, discoveringyourcosmicself.com. The discussions are drawn from You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters. And today's question is from Richa, R-I-C-H-A. And Richa says, Dear Dr. Chopra and Dr. Kafatos, Namaste. In the book You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters, here is what you mentioned about what separation feels like and what being real feels like. You give some examples of how separation is experienced, citing, quote unquote, what separation feels like. You see yourself as an isolated individual. You listen to the demands of your ego and place I, me and mine ahead of other people's. You are powerless in the face of mighty natural forces. The basics of survival require work, struggle and worry. You long to join with another person in order to solve the problem of loneliness. The constant cycle of pleasure and pain is inescapable. You may find yourself prey to mental states beyond your control, such as depression, anxiety, hostility, and envy. The external world dominates over the inner world. Hard reality is inescapable. By contrast, here is what it feels like after the illusion of separation has fallen away. What being real feels like. You're not in the universe is in you. In, here and out there are mirror reflections of each other. Consciousness is continuous and present in everything. It is the one reality. All the separate activities in the universe are actually one activity. Reality isn't just fine-tuned, it's perfectly tuned. Your purpose is to align yourself with the creativity of the cosmos. The next thing you feel like doing is the best thing you can do. Existence feels free, open, and without obstacles. Mind and ego still exist, but they get a lot more time off. Knowing who you are really, you set off to explore unknown possibilities. In today's world of chaos, it is such a challenge to feel real and not separated. How does one transition from feeling separated to feeling real? What can one do daily, from day to day, to rid of the illusion of separation and feel real? Dr. Chopra, I really enjoy listening to you every day, and I'm so grateful for your presence on this forum and on Facebook Live. I would like to sincerely express my gratitude to you for your time. I thank you for your guidance and leadership. Your wisdom is so very meaningful, and it is always a blessing to hear from you. Thank you, Richa. Okay, so that was the question. There were answers there, comments, and now let's really get to the gist of the question, which is, how do we move from feeling separated to being real? To being real. Okay, there are many methods. Let me start with what is at the moment feeling like the most intellectually honest, clear, and the one that resonates with me personally right now more than anything else. The first is to recognize that all experience is an awareness, and awareness is what we mean when we say I. When we use the expression I, it is awareness is what we are meaning. I is the awareness in every experience. Once again, I is the awareness in every experience. Now, I think the first illusion one needs to get rid of in a very honest intellectual manner is that I is somewhere here in this particular body-mind. it's not so, even though that's a convincing hallucination. Okay, I is not somewhere here in this body-mind, or for you, your I is not in the body-mind that you identify with. So I is not the container of, the body-mind is not the container of I. This body-mind does not contain I. This body-mind is an experience in I. This is very important to understand. This body-mind is an experience in I. Furthermore, although the I feels very personal because it's the most intimate aspect of any experience, I is the most intimate aspect of any experience, it feels very personal, but actually it is not, because I is the awareness in which this body-mind and all other body-minds and all other objects are an experience, in that they all arise, interdependently co-arise, are experienced all together, and then interdependently co-subside in awareness. So awareness is that in which everything is being experienced right now. The statues behind this body-mind, the photographs, the elephant, the chandelier, this hand, this glasses, this glass, the sound of my voice, the computer in front of you, or your handheld device, the people around you, all happening in awareness. So I is the awareness in which all experience is happening, and this experience, this experience, this experience are all just modifications of that I, of that awareness. Therefore, the more you can ground yourself in the awareness, then you'll see that all is yourself. You cannot separate an object from the experience of it. You cannot separate the objects from the experiences of those objects. Those objects are a process in awareness, in consciousness. Whether it's this object, this object, this object, this object, the object that you call your body-mind. Why does this feel more personal? Well, because awareness has identified itself with this and created memories and desires that are attached to this. So this feels more personal than this. But if you take ownership of this, then this is also personal. So what we call personal ownership is a learned phenomenon. Personal ownership is a learned phenomenon. Learning to identify with this instead of all this. When you have deep empathy and you feel the pain and suffering of another person and you feel compassion, then you actually can feel the suffering of the other person, then because you and that other person are now being experienced more or less equally identified in awareness. So personal ownership, whether it's of a body or a wallet or a book or a country or a religion or a mind or an ego, is a learned phenomenon. It makes civilization possible, but once we forget that it's a learned construct, that the actual reality is just awareness and its modifications as sense perceptions, sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, in other words, modified forms of awareness itself, and that to identify with one group of perceptions and call them me and mine, and not another group of perceptions and not call them me and mine, is an artificial human construct that gives rise to the ability to navigate experience as individuals and move in a world with other individuals. And then it's so convincing that we forget that it's a projection of awareness. That it's a projection of awareness, which is the real I, the I within the I, what is called Ena in Aramaic. I am that I am. I am that I am. Tattvamasi. So once we start to have awareness as the centerpiece, as the internal reference point for all experience, then there is no inside, there is no outside. There is just the self and the other as the self as well. This other is also the self. As I've mentioned previously, I think, when you see the self in an object, no matter what the object is, there's the statue behind, the Ganesh. When you see yourself in the object, that experience is called beauty. And when you see the self in another person, that experience is called love. So love and beauty, and ultimately truth and harmony and evolution are the same thing. So how to move from separation to being real? There's no movement, you just are being. You're being aware. You're aware being. Selectively identifying with nothing or universally identifying with everything. Ask yourself right now, where are you experiencing the sound of the voice that you call Deepak, or the image, or this book, or the sensations in your own body, or the objects around you? They're all being experienced in a formless awareness. And they're all now. There's no separation. It's like looking in a mirror and you see objects in the mirror. They're all separate. You know, there's this statue behind me in the mirror. There is this hand. There is a body behind the hand. Glasses. But when you go touch the mirror, it's just one surface, and the rest are reflections in the mirror of objects that seem separate in space-time, but in reality are modulations of awareness itself. You have to be almost in love with awareness to be awareness, and then you'll see quite clearly that there is no other. The other is the self in a different uniform. And so this is love at the highest level. Focused on none, denied to none, radiating from you like stars radiate light, the sun radiates light, the bonfire radiates light. You radiate being, love, truth, awareness. One can be grounded in that awareness at all time, and then you realize that awareness never suffers, awareness is never born, it never dies. Awareness is never separate, because all is co-arising and co-subsiding as modifications of awareness. And that is who we are. Tattvam Asi. Be in love with being. Be in love with I, within the I. Be in love with truth. Be in love with all that exists. Not only is there no separation, there's only unity, but also there's no resistance, no anticipation, no regrets. There's richness of sensory experience. There's timelessness. And there is no separate self. That's why it's also effortless and spontaneous creativity. Effortless and spontaneous creativity. It is love in action and love as rest. Love as stillness. Love as dynamism. Love as unity. Love of the diversity in that unity. Love pure and simple. So, Richa, you don't need to do anything, just be. And in that being, identify with nothing or identify with everything. I am that I am. Tattvam Asi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the universe. You are the universe. That's it for today. Thank you.